Okay, well, we're just going to hang out here a minute, guys, and wait for you guys to find the new stream. So I apologize for the inconvenience, but it's out of our hands. Bryce has put in a service ticket and just hasn't gotten a response yet, which is not unusual with these computer types. So while we've been waiting here, I'm just pulling out some interesting things that might be fun. There's Brenda. Hi, Brenda. We're just waiting for the others to find their way over here, and then we'll get going. Yeah.
She's a very wise soul.
Margie, Brenda, or let me try that again. Brenda, Margie says you're a very wise soul for getting your orders in where we have those products. You got the very last one of the Crafters Companions. So that was good. There's Mary T and Mary R. Thank you guys for tracking us down. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating business. Somewhere here, I know that I have like some wedding rings. That's what I was looking for. I might just have to. Oh, I could probably do without them too. It just seemed like something I should have.
Okay, here are your lines.
There's Glenn and there's Thelma. Good to see you. Good to see you guys back. Thank you. Okay. I was really shy of peel stickers there for a while. I had just used up my stash. Margie just brought me a whole new stash, so I'm a happy camper. I have lots and lots of beautiful things to work with here. Now, one thing I don't know for sure is that that I have everything in stock I have in my little folders here. So we will have to be patient about that if that happens, that I choose something that we have already had. Well, let's take a look at our samples. We'll give it just another minute to make sure that everybody finds their way. I think everybody that we had on has found their way, but Irene, yeah, okay. So let's take a look at these sample cards. Come on in close. Okay. So these are some of the samples I've done previously, and I just thought we'd start by giving you a look at some of those. Now this one has a blue cover on a white card, which obviously you can, mix and match those if you want to. Don't have to by any stretch of the imagination. Let's take a look at the inside of this folder as an example of what I talked about with the Chinese kind of going crazy with their glue. See that? I've taped that back in with a more appropriate adhesive. And to tell you the truth, I haven't done much with the cover. It looks fine from the outside, and I haven't done much with that. If it bothered you, you certainly could, cover these glue lines with stickers also. But this is the self-fold mailer that they go into, and it's just part of the card. So they just fold up in a nice little card box, and you can mail right in these. Thank you. Oh, yeah, good, thanks.
There's a few other cursive ones.
All right, let's take a look at the card itself. Now, we'll see maybe where more of the marks are on these when we... Oh, Irene made it back. Hi, Irene. Good to see you, friend. Sorry you had to deal with that. Who else was missing? Sharma. Okay. Oh, it says hi, Sharma. Oh, okay. All right. So this is the greeting cards themselves. You can see that we have actually a recessed panel here. They've created this with a chipboard covered with pearlescent paper. Then they've put a frame inside, and that's covered with pearlescent paper. And then we have a frame on the other side, and that's covered with pearlescent paper. And what they do in total is they actually create like a quarter of an inch of void on the inside there that we can actually put things in, and that look beautiful. With this one, I've just taken wide stickers and gone around the edges of my image, which can help with two things. One, if your image is a little small, it will help. And two, if you have any glue showing in those corners. Then I put a Merry Christmas on the outside of this one. I put beautiful four corners and some borders. And isn't that iced? Oh, yeah, there's Sharma.
Yeah, she just got back while you were talking.
Good. And we end up with something just really quite beautiful. I love the subdued look it has through the silk. Now, this is not the only way to use these cards. This, I will admit, is the only way I have used these cards. But I am aware of some people who did stitchery on this and then put things underneath them in the inside of the card. I'm aware of one of our customers who was painting on the silk. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with these. I've seen these used like this. I've seen them used as Christmas cards. I've seen them used as, I've got a couple samples here of wedding cards. I've seen them used as anniversary cards. Just anytime you want something like extra special. And we can certainly do birthday cards and that kind of thing, just depending on the images and things that you choose. I've seen one done where they did a wedding photo, it was like for a 50th anniversary card. So they used the gold folder and they put a black and white photo of the original wedding on the inside with some pretty little flowers and things around it. And then let that show through the panel, which was gorgeous. Oh, you used them for your dried flowers. What a great idea, Glenn. That's a beautiful idea. I love that. And I'm trying to think of the painted ones. That's pretty much what I have to tell you. Oh, I know. There was a housewarming one that was done. And they actually put a little three-dimensional house in there and a key on the inside, which was really fun. So he's not out, is he?
No, he's barking at your deliveries.
Oh, okay. But that's barking from the house?
That's the baby monitor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let's take a look at a couple others here. That was our first sample. This one I really like. I did this one a couple years ago. And again, you got that brown glue. But I haven't usually bothered to worry about that too much because it doesn't show through my window. And I did this one. I love that, the hazy Santa and reindeer. And I put a Merry Christmas on it. Then I put a little bit of my extra decoupage layers on the inside. I really went a little sticker crazy with this one, but I like it. I like putting things actually like the stickers in the corners here too. I think that gives it a really classy look. But I think that was fun. And here's one, a thank you card that I did. We don't have pink anymore. Yeah, we have a baby monitor set up, so if Bob goes out the doors over there, we can hear the door alarms. So, pretty thank you card that's done in pink. We're out of the pink now, so don't be disappointed. It just happened. We don't have these anymore, but it's still a nice sample to look at. Got the thank you on the on the silk frame and the beautiful flowers. I really recommend using bright, beautiful images on the inside because that will really enhance the card. I didn't do an awful lot to this one. This card was actually in pretty good shape. So I didn't put stickers on the inside at all, and I only put the thank you and the border around the outside. But it's pretty. Here's one. It's on the website, I believe. Whoops. I had not reinforced the window, and that one in the window just popped out. So reinforce the windows. So they'll be very easy to peel off, unfortunately, and put them back in. Thoughts of you. I love that one. It's like he's doing, she loves me not, with a daisy. Thinking of you. Little butterfly or dragonfly in the corner here. Borders around the edges, a nice thick border at the top and the bottom. And then we have that precious little boy in the field of daisies. We're out of green also.
Brenda asks, would it be easy to put the tiny lights inside?
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I have not tried that. Here's another one that the acetate window needs to be put back in. Once you put those down with the actual tape, they won't give you any more trouble. You won't have problems with them popping back out. This time.
Space for the actual lights in the window part.
Is there space? Yes.
Well, in the recessed part.
In the recessed part, there is enough space, but your lights are going to show.
Right.
Yeah, the actual light bulbs will show. So I think if you make the lights an integral part of the total, it'll be fine. Just because I love the little girl on the swing. Let's see how I did the little double borders here. I could have done that because it was glue slopped out here somewhere. Or I could have just done that because I thought it was pretty. Let's just be honest here. Now here, see this corner? I know that there was some ickiness in this corner. And so I put those two borders there. And they look just fine.
That's a 3D topper you have there in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Built up.
Yeah.
So,
All of these have been 3D toppers in the middle so far. Here's another Christmas card I did with these. Another one of the blue ones. We have quite a few of the blue, the gold, the silver, and I think we have a few of the white. And I don't know if you noticed that they are currently marked down to $1 a card on our website, which makes these very, very affordable to use. Get the little girls with the polar bear. Now, I think there was a fair amount of sloppiness under here, so I just used a nice wide border. Isn't that pretty? So it's a fun way to just kind of let your imagination be your guide to fixing these cards and making them beautiful. Because I do love the way they're wrapped in the pearlescent papers. I love that. And I love the way they look when you use the peel stickers on them. This is another one that I did in landscape. Isn't that fun? I like the little pearls on them. I complemented the inside with pearls. Yeah, they'd be great for deco large sets. They absolutely would. Now we tried to watch for this. This one has a little puckering in the silk, and most of the ones that we send out should not have that. Margie and I went through all of them and tried to eliminate any that had that little bit of, see the little flecks in the little ripple in the silk panel itself. We tried to make sure we took all those out. But this one still shows you, even if you did get one of those, which would not be my intent, but even if you did get one of those, it makes up beautifully. And if I didn't tell you there was an issue there, you might not notice it at all. I have 2 more samples. Love this one. Love these angels inside them. The little angel feeding the deer. And see, the image is a little smaller than the panel, so I just put a border up above it. And then on this one, I made the corners on the outside and then joined the corners to my inside frame. I think that looks pretty. One more. This one, I was into using my Cricut at this time. So I was playing with my Cricut and I made a card. So these images were all cut with my Cricut. It's an anniversary card. There we go. Nice pearlescent papers inside to kind of complement the pearlescent papers on the outside. And I think that turned out pretty.
Got the last 2.
Oh, thank you.
And then I brought you some thicker,
Oh, good. Okay.
but they have no corners to match. But
Okay. Margie's been scouring the Peel sticker drawers downstairs looking for fun additions to my cards today. So I have quite a selection of stickers to use.
that's what happened. You asked.
Here, can you take these and put them away in their boxes, and we'll move them out from in front of me. Oops.
And I do
Thank
not
you.
believe that we have the pink or light blue anymore.
No, we don't. We have the blue. We don't have the
dark
light green.
blue, but that, is
Oh,
that a
yeah,
light
it's
green?
green.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and put an image together, and we'll get this show on the road. Everybody's saying hi, Margie.
Hi.
We all know how Margie loves to do videos, so she's going to be back with you soon when we take our little 4-day break this month. And she'll be here to entertain you, tap dance or something. Look
My
at this.
mom has a dance that goes with that song.
Look at this fairy puppet. We have just some of the coolest 3D images ever. Look at this. Isn't that just grand? I could put him in her, I guess it's a her, can't tell for sure, in any of these colors. I think I'm going to choose the silver just because that's what's on top. And I think we'll try that. First thing I'm going to do is put my window back in because that really annoys me. And the windows aren't in.
That one has some stain on it, I think.
Yeah, this one actually has. It's really coming inside. I don't know if I can clean that off or not. This window. Let's see. What do I have? So maybe some of the best cleaner ever. Other than, and I'll use one of my little microcloths here. I'm just going to see if I can take this off because it'd be important for you to know whether or not you can get it off or whether it's just going to be there. The other thing you could do at the price we're charging you for these cards, for $5 card, you get them for $1. The other thing you could do is cut your own piece of acetate to go in the window. You could absolutely do that. So that's something I could do, would be cut a new piece of acetate. This one really has it on there. And best glue ever remover is taking off some of it. I don't know, I'm kind of inclined to say I think the best way to deal with this one, see that big splotch still at the bottom? I think the best way to do this might just be to cut a new piece of acetate. Do we have regular acetate over there, Margie?
Yes, I think.
So I'm going to just cut a new piece of acetate to go into the window because I don't want to make this beautiful card and then just be embarrassed about something that looks like snot on there. Bryce is saying, Deborah, what it does? It's icky.
You just say icky.
the sensibilities.
I did.
Move on with your design.
Well, I have to find a paste vest. Hey, I actually found one.
Oh, good.
There's one in my stack tray here, along with lots of other things. Lots of little bits and pieces. Okay. So I'm just going to cut myself a new piece of acetate. Call it like it is, Brenda says. I do. And it gets me in trouble all the time. I tried to tell him he knew when he married me this is who I was.
I don't think so.
You don't think
It's
you
not in the
knew?
disclosure documents.
He doesn't remember that in any of the disclosure documents. Yeah, he's been my best buddy for 3 years before we ever got romantically involved. He cannot say he did not know who I was. I'm just going to go ahead and put my tape down here on the outside of this window. And put that acetate back in the folder.
Okay, I will learn.
I'm just putting it down on all 4 sides. The panel, it just cuts a little bigger than the window, so should be fine with that. That is so true, Mary R. We just watch people will show us who they are. We need to believe them when they show us and tell us who they are. What are you doing down there? We're in story time.
Oh, I am just telling about the winter weather at my house.
Oh,
So I'm going to sneak out of here now before it gets too cold on my way home.
okay. That's fine.
So I'm taking mail though, so then that way
Okay.
that leaves your hubby here with you.
All right. So this, it still will show the old tape through, and that's unfortunate. But now my window is nice and clean and beautiful. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put my base layer down inside my card. Looks like I'm going to have to trim it just a tad. I think I'll center it high and low so that it will slide right in there. Oh, you know what? It slides right in there anyway because it kind of slides under the edge. Isn't that going to be beautiful in there? Wow. I love that. Now we have to put some glue on it though. Mary Art said her husband told her that she would learn to enjoy cooking. She said, nope, never did. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm digging out my pen, which I finally got smart and started dropping into my little cup here so I would know where one was. Now this is foil, so you want to keep your glue line really light or smooth out your glue line because it will act like Mary board and that it will show the glue line if you don't smooth it when you're using these Dufex prints. So I'm just smoothing out that line just a little bit so that it doesn't show under my work. Okay. Let that slide under there just a little. Bring this up and slide it under just a little. And it just smoothed right into my available space. And I just let it too far down though, so I'll try to slide it back up. Ah, Deborah, don't do that. I'm going to fool around here and need to add more glue because my glue will have dried because I put so little. Come on. It's really a pain. I end up having to trim this after all just because I'm bending it up. Well, now I'm going to trim it. Not because that had been my intent, but because I just got a little ripple in my edge that I don't like. So now I'll have a border around it, which is also fine. Try it again. This time I won't tear it up, maybe. A little line of glue. Smooth that glue out just a little so it doesn't have a ridge to it. I'll go ahead and put it down inside my folder. I think I've shown you these cards when I put them on sale before, but I'm not sure we ever demonstrated them. Okay, let's get our layering done on our little fairy puppet. These Christine Haworth designs are just beautiful. We still have, I believe, a few CDs of Christine Haworth's work, and they're available in our CDs and DVDs section. If you don't have a disc player in your computer, because a lot of them are coming without them now, you can get a little add-on disc player. I think mine, I had Bryce buy me for Christmas last year, was $29 or something, and it plays great to play my DVDs and stuff, and to give me the opportunity to print my images off of the stock images. So it's not a huge investment to make sure that you can still use all those computer CDs that you have. I don't want to bend out with my arm. We had a little family disaster night before last. Bob's one remaining kitty passed away. Bryce went in to put Dad in bed, and the kitty had just crawled up in her bed and passed away in her sleep. And Bryce reached over to pet her and realized she was no longer with us. So he just carried the bed out of Bob's room, and we didn't say anything that night. We told him yesterday. And he was feeling really sad. He does love animals as much or more than most people I've ever met in my lifetime. He finds it impossible to walk past a cat or a dog without stroking them. It just must be done. This has some ultra tiny pieces I'm not going to use. I think this is going to be just right. I'm not going to put on the other. They're just itty bitty little ones. She was an old kitty. I don't know how old. Bryce speculated 18, but I'm not sure how old she was. They'd had those cats for a very long time. And whoops, let's put that in the wrong place. Let's try putting it on this one where it actually goes. So when Bob moved in, we had 5 cats in our household. Lauren moved out with 1, and we've lost all but 1 now. The rest of them. It really is, Thelma. It's like losing a family member. It truly is. I don't think this one hit Bryce and I quite as hard as some of them because we've always been careful to make sure Bob's kitty stayed Bob's kitty and that we didn't spend so much time with her. She kind of became our kitty. So this one didn't hit us quite as hard, but it hit Bob hard.
Mary R is asking, what cat remains? Meredith?
No, Meredith Meredith still remains, but she's at Lauren's house. We have Taz, the black one. That's aptly named. I actually adore Tazzy. She is her own little creature, and she lets you know all about it. She comes in every single night when we're spoiling her because we know that she's in kidney failure, so we don't have very long with her now. So we didn't always let her sleep with us, but we have begun letting her sleep with us every night. And I'm actually not going to put this crown on because the panel is already right up to the top. That's actually where I want it. So I'm going to stop there. But every night she comes in, and every night and I'm looking for my glue around here. There's not a bit of glue on the inside of this one or on the outside of the frame. Actually, this is just almost like a perfect card, other than the window that we did away with. This is a perfect card. So I'm going to put some silver corners and borders on this one. That's pretty. And every night she comes in and walks up my body, starting at my feet. She walks up my body, and then she plants herself on my chest, wants to be loved. And I pet her. And when I either fall asleep or get tired of petting her, she gets down and moves. But about 5 minutes later, she'll say, "Wait, I think I'd like to sleep on Mom." So she'll move somewhere else for 5 minutes, and then she'll come back, walk up my feet, cross my body, up to my chest, lay down, and meow, "I'm here to be petted." And we do this 4 or 5 times a night. She's very sweet, though. She's gotten more and more lovable as she's gotten older. She used to be a little persnickety, but she's not anymore. Now she's very sweet, lovable. Yes, Bob got up. I was up late working last night, and Bob got up about 1:30, and I asked him if he needed help with anything. He said, "I'm looking for the dog." I think he just woke up and was feeling lonesome without his kitty. And he said, "Well, Teddy's in bed." And he looked at me like, "Well, are you going to go get him?" I said, "Teddy won't be happy if I wake him up from his sleep. Teddy loves his sleep." So then Bob ended up being satisfied with that, and he went over and sat down on the sofa, hung out with me for a half hour or so. Then he decided he was ready to go back to bed. But he got up to find the dog. Put one of these kind of chain link borders on here because I think it'd be pretty.
How are
Hi.
you doing?
Good.
Okay. Did Bryce take off for a minute?
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Oh, evidently he did.
Okay. Do you want me to sit with you and
Sure.
Okay.
You're going to be heading out of here soon, right?
Yep.
We've got inclement weather forecast for Portland. And for those of you across the country who don't really worry too much about snow until you get 3 or 4 feet of it, it's way different in Portland.
There's a lot
If
of
there's a
ice.
threat, well, if there's a threat of any inches, people get panicky.
Yeah, it's the ice that happens because it melts so quickly after it falls.
Yep, and then
That night
refreezes.
it refreezes, and so you're on the ice the next day. So I always figured the safest day to drive is the day
It shows.
was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. My girls are using their beach weekend this weekend, so I was a little worried about them driving to the coast, and because neither one of them is an experienced snow driver. But Lauren's new car has all-wheel drive, and they should be fine if they just take it easy. It's funny, I mentioned to Bryce last night I had considered offering to drive them to the beach and then come back and get them. And he said, I thought the same thing. So if they got here and they're just really nervous, like Lauren gets here and she's really nervous about driving in the snow, we may still end up doing that, taking them to the beach. It's only about an hour and a half from here where they're going. It wouldn't hurt, but we'll see. I'm supposed to have a class tomorrow night, but if we really do get snow, I doubt if anybody's going to show up. Mary, Teddy is now 4, believe it or not. He was born in 2019. I know that because that's the year that Jordan left for the East Coast. And she was so mad at me for getting a new puppy right after she left. She said, that's just not even fair that you get a new puppy after I leave. Sorry.
Irene says the outside decorations really add to the card.
It's so easy too, guys. You know, we have so many of these beautiful peel decorations that it just makes it really easy to get something beautiful. I like Glenn's idea of putting his pressed flowers in here, though. I think that was a really neat idea. That'd still look good with the metallic frames around them, wouldn't they? That looks pretty. Yeah. I have to figure out what I want to do to the inside. I think I might put a border on this inside panel and kind of minimize a little bit the amount of gap there around the edges. I don't know if I have anything extra wide.
Elma says they're expecting a snow bomb cyclone to
A
hit
snow
on
bomb
Friday and
cyclone.
Saturday.
Ooh, that sounds ominous.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what exactly a snow bomb cyclone is, but it definitely sounds like something to be paid attention to. I don't know why I'm trying to get my big scissors in here instead of using my little scissors. Come on, cut. They're saying we could get 5 inches of snow on the valley floor here in Portland, which is very unusual for Portland. We don't have that most years, but every once in a while we do.
Every time our company holds a holiday party, we seem to have it.
Was that rescheduled from this weekend or to this weekend?
From this weekend.
Okay.
Some years we've had to reschedule it two times. Almost getting 14 to 24 inches of
Yeah,
snow.
see, that's just a lot. That's a lot. We just don't get that kind of snow here, which is part of the reason why 2 inches of snow will shut the city of Portland down. It just will. They'll cancel all the schools and it will completely shut the city down. And let's see. This is kind of cool.